high-tech oils. Available from Auto One, Sprint Auto Parts and all leading independent auto stores.
In the 2015 Sports Racer Series, we've got a new brother racing combination in Adam and Joshua Cranston. But what do they think of each other's racing qualities?
Conservative, clean, good racer, but sometimes can be a little bit too conservative. Very aggressive. He probably doesn't have as much consistency as I do, and he sort of doesn't know when to hold back sometimes. So the sports racer category itself is mainly made up of, I suppose, West race cars at the moment, which are Le Mans style racer. We are running the Formula 1000, which is a slightly different car, more of an open wheeler. It's a monochrome chassis, so it's FIA rated, so it's quite safe, and it's a 1000cc engine in the back, so they got a bit of go.
With older brother Adam running and paying for the team, you could say it's quite a family affair.
Yeah, it is. So I suppose we fall under the category of West race cars because they do all the pit crew and they've been awesome in doing it. So I don't have that expertise. I'm an accountant by trade. So I suppose under that we have the Venice racing team, which is myself and my brother. It's weird. It's good. It sort of makes me feel bad when I beat him. Look, it's always a good thing to win, considering that I'm paying for both cars, but the better racer will win at the end of the day. So
before they fire up these 1000cc open wheelers, the Cranston brothers have some final words for each other.
Watch out from behind. I will take you out, and I will take that corner, and I want to win. Watch out, mate, I'm coming for you.
Well, Australian motor racing is filled with brother v brother rivalries. I get the feeling, Matt Nolte, that one could be just as fun. The Cranston boys, one to watch in the Australian Sports Racer Series. The cars are rolling out for race 2. Dramas, though, for Aaron Steer. Scheduled to go from the front row. They're playing with a kill switch on that car, so clearly unable to turn the mains power on that car on and get it out onto the grid. So big dramas, the West crew hard at work. These are the points coming into the weekend before race 1. We're about to take a look at some highlights from that. Roger Ianson headed the standings. Unfortunately, he's a scratching from today's racing after technical problems in qualifying. But race 1 started bright and early on a chilly Sunday morning here at Winton Motor Raceway.
On board with John Paul Drake as Macris headed to the infield on cold tyres. Slippery conditions. You can understand how early in the day it is, and these sports racer cars trying to get grip into a smallish tyre.
Phil Hughes in the SR3 Radical there as well. This was a bit of a drama. Josh Cranston got down the inside at turn 10, lost the rear, and big contact. Huge contact, and that was big drama for the 3 car.
A lot of damage to the free machine, one of the F1000 cars, and it's a bit of a panic there for a moment when waved his arms up like that. Peter Mackey, this is the onboard view for him. Thought he got through, and then no. Not the best way to start your Sunday morning, the Peter Mackey Building Consultants entry.
That was a shame, and that would mean the race would finish under safety car with the South Australian Mark Lauke getting the win. We caught up with Josh Cranston after that race to find out what happened.
Look, old tyres, cold out there, very slippery. Just trying to take Peter and come in, and I've lost the rear end, and he had nowhere to go. I had no control, so that's the result.
So pretty philosophical. We're still waiting on Aaron Steer to see if he can get his West on the grid and racing. Yes, he can. There he is. So the F1000 cars start on their own a little bit further back. It's a handicap start for those cars, given the fact they're a slightly different style of racing car to the sports racers that are at the pointy end of the field. So Aaron Steer takes his rightful position on the front row of the grid alongside race 1 winner Mark Lauke, John Paul Drake and Jason Macris from the second row, Cranston and Hughes next, then back to Stokel and Pavotis next. A couple of scratchings, unfortunately, as we mentioned. Roger Ianson, who won the opening round, unfortunately unable to compete this weekend. Away we go at Winton for the Australian Sports Racer Series, motorcycle-powered open-top Le Mans style sports cars. These things are fast, they're cool, and they always produce really good motor racing.
Whatever happened to Steer's car, completely gone out of the system now. So right on board with John Paul Drake, car in front locking up. That'll be the Mark Lauke machine. So just being caught out on the cold tyres as now the F1000 machine starts.
As we mentioned, so handicap start, you can see the sports racer field in the back of that shot. Big twitch trying to get Kumho tyres, the control tyre, similar or almost identical tyre to what they use in Australian Formula 3 racing, so there's some economies of scale there. Good tyre. They do take a little bit of time to get up to temperature though, so you need to work them hard in the opening couple of laps. And that's Jason Macris just bottling up this battle group, allowing Steer just to drive away. And a big moment from Lauke there in the Lauke Flour Mills car. The big sideways moment. Oh, Drake, John Paul Drake fires it down the escape road in the car affectionately referred to as the Licorice All Sorts in the sports racer field.
Hard to miss, is it? As he goes down, finds the dirt on the outside. Lucky not to spear in the car in front. He could have taken the olds, part of the circuit there back in the 90s, but going to turn left here to head back on the west entry, I should say. Takes his position at the back of this group. Back to the leaders now.
Spoke to the boys at Check It Out Graphics in Adelaide who actually wrapped that car, and there's a K of vinyl on it. It's an unbelievable job. Bit of a moment there. Good performance from Lauke, I thought, this weekend. Have a look closely, if you can, at Jason Macris's car, because I think you might find some similarities in that livery to a particular Jordan Formula 1 car of the late 1990s era. I don't know if you picked up on that, but it's got the whole Buzz and Hornet style, isn't it? Cool. Looks good. And Macris driving well.
The Damon Hill helmet now inside.
Yeah,
They've
exactly
just set it right off.
It's
It's a long way around for Lauke.
Shows the braking performance of these cars. This is the second time the Sports Racer Series has been to Winton this year, and Lauke gets up the inside, unfortunately unloaded on that inside curb, when with the car on the outside he had nowhere to go and spun. That's a shame for the race one winner.
Drop a ton of track time here too. He'll spin around, take his position. He tried at the corner previous to it. This time the door didn't even open. He tried to open it, or force entry if you will, and spun the 55 Lauke Flour Mills entry around and drops a ton of places, as I said.
Yeah, combination of going in very, very deep into that corner and getting up on the curb. They run such a stiff suspension setup in these cars and such low clearance as well. Very, very difficult. Here's Steer working his way past one of the F1000 cars. So built by the same company, very similar to a Formula Ford chassis underneath, but bolt some aero on and some slick tyres and the motorcycle 1000cc power plant. They are very quick things. This is Phil Hughes in the Sol Radical in the field this weekend. Phil, Victorian car preparer by trade, works on Ferraris and exotic Italian sports cars during the week. And a great business he's got going on down there in Melbourne. And this is just his third ever national level race meeting. Huge improvement by Phil over the year as he gets up to speed in a car that he originally went halves in with the late great Alan Simons, and they were great mates, and Phil ran his GT cars for a long time. This is a good battle. John Paul Drake on the comeback trail in that amazingly liveried West Race Cars entry. He's made up a stack of time.
He'll be kicking himself after that moment he had right down here a few laps back. It's on the back of Macris now. It's this second gear left-hander. Bit of understeer going in. Runs fourth at the moment. Aaron Steer is still leading, but he's about 10 seconds down the road.
Macris looks like he's a sitting duck now, doesn't he? And down the inside goes Drake, gets it done. And gets another position. This is a good drive back after firing it down the escape road a couple of laps ago. We should mention West Race Cars Australia do an amazing job preparing a whole bunch of these cars from their one shop in Adelaide, and they've got a centrally located crew that go to all the rounds and look after a whole bunch of the cars.
Macris understeered massively, didn't he, going through turn 1 and 2? Meantime, the leader coming up to the back side of the circuit now, Aaron Steer, after that technical drama he had in the pits before coming out for race number 2. The gap's around 12 seconds now. No one's going to touch him, even if he makes a mistake down here, which I'm sure he won't.
Yeah, Ianson did an amazing job in qualifying, and my heart breaks for Roger, who put so much into his racing. Hasn't gone to plan this weekend. But Aaron Steer qualified second. The next 5 cars were covered by just 8 tenths, but he's been the best of them. Great performance in race 2, and Aaron Steer will get the checkered flag and win the Australian Sports Racers Series second race for Shannons Nationals here at Winton Motor Raceway. Good comprehensive performance out in front.
Well done to him. The confirmation of your results up there. Jonathan Stoker 13 seconds behind. He got second. John Paul Drake in third, back to Macris, Lauke, Adam Cranston, Phil Hughes and Terry Piavitas.
The kill switch, it's like a $4 part, wouldn't turn on. I didn't think I thought I was gonna be starting from pit lane. We managed to get it started and everything seemed to work. It was a bit funny throughout the race, but got lucky.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and it worked well for Aaron Steer as we have a look at what happened in race 3, the final race of the round. beautiful afternoon at Winton. Good start from Steer. Grabbed a break into turn 1, but converted his pole position by virtue of winning race 2 into an early race lead.
Mackey's just taking it easy on colder tyres in this first lap as we got underway. And the battle picked up where it left off, didn't it, from race number 2, as the 53 machine went down the inside of Jonathan Stokel on the inside of Jason Macris, who would line him up further. And look at Lauke, would make this a 3-car battle. Watch Lauke pull the slingshot here, goes for 1. Why not make it 2 down into turn 1?
Oh, a lot of commitment, but got it stopped. Really nice move by Mark Lauke. Got it done down the inside, got the pass. This was Phil Hughes just dealing with some traffic. The 52 car of Peter Mackey. Battle for 7th and 8th place in this wage for a couple of laps.
Further back here to the 52 machine of Peter Mackey, once again being passed by Adam Cranston around past the famous Gumtree section of Winton Motor Raceway.
Good move, and I think the wings and slicks aero probably worked very well there for the 5 as he went round the outside. So good battling through the field. Aaron Steer, though, lights to flag a race and a round win. Australian Sports Racer Series, and with Roger Ianson not scoring any points, it was pretty handy for his championship as well. Lauke, though, moves to 2nd, Macris to 3rd, John Paul Drake, Stokel, Hughes, Cranston and Ianson rounding out the top 8. Let's catch up with the round winners from the sports races.
Yeah, it was not too bad. I didn't have the best start, but managed to stay in front of the other guys. And then the car set up well and everything was working really well, so just pushed, and yeah, it was good. It's good fun.
As I said, Josh is a better qualifier, and he got about a second and a half on me in the qualifying, but I'm the better racer, and that's true this weekend. He couldn't hold me, and I went past him after the second lap, and he happened to have a bingle and put him out for the weekend, so it was a bit upsetting really, because it would have been good to continue the battle for the 2nd and 3rd race. But look, I don't just do this to win, I do it to enjoy it, and he's fun out there, so it would have been better if he was there, but look, made a better man win.
Certainly is a class that's on the rise in 2015, the Australian Sports Racer Series. Next time we see them, we'll be at Queensland Raceway. Check out thenationals.com.au for more information on that championship.